And a very good morning. It's Mark here. It is 7:40 Eastern Time, Tuesday, February the 18th. That's going on 12:40 GMT. US session about to get underway. Remember, yesterday was a holiday in the US. Markets were very quiet, very subdued, but I have no doubt that things will get back to normal today. Starting on the dollar index, let's see where we stand. Little bit of a gap up to start today's trading. Very mild though, sitting at 106.85, still in this very narrow support area for now. 107 is definitely going to be the target for buyers, the first target for buyers on the upside. Um, that that is going to take some kind of a turnaround in terms of sentiment and demand, which certainly weren't there last week, particularly the last 2 days of last week, where we saw this really big sell-off and support set at 106.41. But as we've got to learn, the things do turn around when the US session gets started. So let's see when the US session does get underway, and that's in about 20 minutes from now. We'll see if buyers can continue this little push higher, get above that 107, or if it's going to be sellers who take control and come down and test this support area. Let's have a look at the S&P. Steady uptrend on the S&P. You can see that. Even yesterday, that little bit higher, and today, certainly higher again. Continuing from last week and from yesterday's close, already a little bit higher. And looking at record high levels here, we're looking at the 61 record highs. That's where in pre-market trading, because we're still a good hour and a half, almost 2 hours away from Wall Street opening. But so far, there is demand. Pre-market trading, buyers have already taken the price a little bit higher and looking at these record high levels around the 61.60. If there is a turnaround once the market opens and it's sellers who gain control, first target on the downside will be the 6,100 level. Let's have a look at gold. So Friday, we had this really big turnaround. We had this strong sell-off. It's rebounded from that, and 27.20. Let's just have a look here. Yeah, from the support here at 28.79 from Friday. Yesterday, even though markets were closed, gold started its climb back, recouped some of its losses. It's carried on doing that today already. And right now, sitting at 29.15, not far away from just around $15, just under $15 away from where it was and where the sell-off started on Friday. Bear in mind, on Friday, even though we saw this turnaround, we did see a test of the record high levels at 2,941, and that's certainly what the buyers will be eyeing should there be a continuation of the buy. And there's been demand every time there's been any kind, not as big as Friday, but any little pullback, any retracement. There's been demand at every level. There was demand down here. We saw that yesterday, continuing today. And as I say, testing will go up and test the 29.41 area. And if things continue and there is continued demand, which I think will take, we know gold's safe haven status is definitely there. It might take its lead from the US dollar. Weak US dollar, not the way it started today, but if there is weak US dollar, that may be the push that gold needs to break above this record level. Let's have a look at oil. Brent oil. Also, strong downtrend. Yesterday did try fight back. You can see that from the support at just over $74, 74.09, fought back nicely yesterday, just got to just under the $75 level, continued that in early trading today. There's the wick, it's left behind. However, come back down now, sitting at the 74.81, just where it closed yesterday. Sellers firmly in control. Buyers will look to regain 75 on the upside. However, bias is down right now after the sell-off. Trend is down, and sellers could well be looking to retest the 74 level. Bitcoin. Bitcoin continuing to trade in this really narrow range we're seeing here, pretty much between 95,000 and 97,000, a narrow $2,000 range for Bitcoin. The bias is down, the trend is down. Sellers will look to break below this support and at least maintain. You can see it's broken slightly below this 95, but unable to maintain and hang in. And that's why we have all these wicks here around the $95,000 level. Sellers will look to retest this, break below, and come at least and test and get below the $94,000 level. Whereas buyers looking above this resistance of 97,000, try and get closer to the 98,000. But as you can see, also tough to close above there. And that's what buyers will be looking for, a close around the 98,000 so that they can get to test that all-important $100,000 level. Good trading, guys. I'll see you at the end of today's session.